get to my car. I gotta get to my car. I gotta call my husband. Get to my car. Get to my car. Right, get to my car. Come on, get in the car. Get in the car. Oh my God. Come on, it won't start. Today, I just wanted to get up here and kind of talk about a huge, very important topic. And I think it's a needed conversation with today, with technology. You know, over the years, technology continues to vastly grow, increase over time. We are becoming smarter. We have artificial intelligence, but we have all these applications, all this software. And what do we actually do with that, right? And what risks do they impose with ongoing building of this technology? And it's been a debate for years. Just like when we go in back in the previous videos when we were talking about, you know, Ford and these automakers are coming out with trying to press, you know, these new regulations saying that we can't work on our cars because of software, risk for cybersecurity, risk for safety issues because of the technology and the advancements. And I do, just like I said in my other videos, I feel like that is a type of monopoly. They're trying to box out the middleman. They're trying to box out, you know, the smaller dealerships or you at home from tinkering with these things because it's a monopoly. And I feel like technology over the years has been used to stronghold people or to create power and keep people at a certain level, right? And if you look at history repeats itself with everything. You're looking at the wars, you're looking at different things over the years, and man want to obtain power. And technology is a form of power and control. So when you're looking at it now from these automakers, that is how they are creating leverage, right? You need me and I'm in control of this, so you have to do what I say. And in saying that, a lot of the technology, when you're looking at your smartphone, you're looking at all of these things over time, we have been using smartphones, and smartphones is a way of data, right? You figure you're talking about something, all of a sudden you have these ads popping up on your phone, or you're having a conversation, or somebody in your house or close knit looks up something, all of a sudden, eureka, you have that ad in your phone. It is a way of basically Big Brother watching us, tracking every move we make. So if you feel like you are off the grid, you are never off the grid. There's always something, and technology is evolving to make sure that somebody or some people are keeping a tab on you. That being said, the huge debate that's going on right now is Ford filing a patent for an in-cabin biometric monitoring technology. And I believe when I was looking over, the serial number is 0104469. And you can go in there and kind of, you know, do your research on your own. But basically what it's doing is it's using biometrics, just like on our phone, fingerprint, or, you know, scanning our iris, facial movement. It's using our heart rate, how we maneuver, how we're reacting to things. It's using our conversations, and it is allowing what what they're selling it is, it's going to help for law enforcement, and it's helping people like if you're in traffic, you got warrants, you got things like that, and it will directly communicate with law enforcement and you don't even know. Right? So say you're in another state, you don't know, you got a warrant because maybe something simple, all of a sudden you move to a new location, boom, bam, your car sends this information to them and you're getting arrested, had no clue, right? It's also concerning too, and that's the debate, whether or not our privacy is being invaded, are our rights being jeopardized, because it is going to now obtain all of this data. And you think about it. So if somebody hacks your account, you go in, you reset your password, you get a new card, you can't change your face, okay? So those are things that I think are really important and we need to consider. From a safety standpoint, when my intro did what I did, it's to show how would you feel as a woman. Say you're in a situation, it's nighttime, you can be going to the grocery store, right? It doesn't even have to be the nighttime now. And something is not right. Your spidey senses kick in, right? So you're running to your car, your heart rate is racing, you get in the car and all of a sudden your car doesn't start because it's saying, hey, something is not right, or it doesn't recognize you. What if, your facial features are changing, you're sweating, something distorts your image, your car doesn't start and you're in trouble and it's just you. What's going to happen? What's going to happen in that situation? And the reason why I say that is because even being in the medical field, okay, working in cardiology, you have devices. So you have pacemakers, you have defibrillators, you have things that are implanted for people who have abnormal heart rhythms or life-threatening rhythms. Okay, perfect example. You got people that have ventricular tachycardia or these very fast rhythms that could be life-threatening. But what if you just have a abnormal rhythm like atrial fibrillation, right? I'm not going to get into detail, but long story short, your device sometimes can't pick up the difference between, is it this rhythm or is it a life-threatening rhythm where I have to shock this person, right? And it ends up shocking inappropriately, okay? Technology. And unfortunately, that person is going to get a jolt for inappropriate reasons because it wasn't necessary. And that is the same thing I'm thinking as a female, just using that for example, because I'm trying to relate it to everyday life. You're out and about, something's not right, you try to run to your car, heart rate is going up, biometrics are all over the place, your car can't decipher what's going on, the car doesn't start, boom, bam, now you're in trouble because you can't flee from that situation. That's very scary. Those are things that we need to understand with technology, because technology is not perfect. It is a tool that's used to help, but sometimes, and like I said in my previous video, and I got a lot of comments back and forth, it can be misused. And that is what I'm worried about, because right now there is no law in place if automakers are allowed to do this where we're protected, because there's no law saying that they can't sit here and pass on our data. And that's very scary, because the black web, it's real, right? So those are things to think about. The other thing, when I was looking at different things, a lot of people think that this technology is new, okay? And they're all bashing Ford. Ford has already came out with some type of this technology using fleet managing, right? And I had to look it up because, like I said, I'm sitting in my Ford right now and I'm like, oh my God, wrong time to have a Ford, I guess. But you're looking at all these things, and I wrote it down because I really didn't want to miss the points to this. But they have already it's called Ford Pro Telematics, okay, where fleet managers are installing this in their vehicles. Now, from a business standpoint, do you think that'd be great? Yeah, I think that's fantastic, because as a fleet manager, you got all of these vehicles under your insurance. You want to make sure that who's behind the wheel is responsible, is driving responsible, right? So they already have that technology to know how fast somebody is going. They got Dasher, they can log into the cameras, they can see this. They have different programs, so you can get the essential plan, then you can get the basically it's 3 tiers, all the way up to you getting everything with this plan that can monitor everything. And it doesn't help for me to just realize, hey, what if you're sitting here having this and this information can incriminate you? What if our information is sold to insurance companies and they say, hey, you know what? Nah, you're a liability. We're not gonna take you. Or, we have certain things that they're monitoring how fast and, how hard you're braking. Okay, perfect example. A V8, if you don't have a V8, you don't know what I'm talking about. But coming from a regular, like a 2-liter or something like that, or you got a car that has lower horsepower, right? And then you come into a V8, you're foot braking and it's different. It's different. So this technology is going to allow the car to pick up on that. So they're going to start saying, hey, you know what? We're going to start tracking, X, Y, and Z to see how their driving pattern is. okay? And it could incriminate you where the insurance companies or the company, they're saying, you know what, now we're not gonna pick you up as a client. Nope, we're not gonna do it. And they can deny coverage and other things like that. Also, you think about it, what if that's used in the court of law to go against you, right? All of this information. So this is where I have a problem with technology. And I would love your input, but do you feel like these things are good? Because again, they're selling it to make it sound fantastic, right? Because if trafficking is going on, or people who really, you know, are not the typical good people out there, warrants and arrest and trying to, you know, like Amber Alerts or something like that, definitely that is something that can be used and very important. Just like when you saw the investigation with the Ring camera and picking up different things, you know, it was a conversation with the Rings, you know, saying we don't want the Ring camera to have all this access to be able to do this and spy on us. But then when somebody gets lost or a kid gets lost, you know, you're praising the Ring camera because you're finding people. So it is a debate, and I just feel like we are going into scary times. I feel like it's inevitable that these things will be abused. But I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on this potential, and like I said, it's not out yet, but it's a patent that they are trying to say where it can pick up the biometrics, and it can basically do whatever the hell it wants to do with that information. But let me know, and I'll talk to you in another video. Peace.